Suggestions, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, I agree with the person that just said in chat, apparently positive change equals hypocrisy. Now, alright, here's... we're gonna have a little discussion here, okay? Here's the problem with the internet. The internet keeps a permanent record of everything you've ever said that is very easy to search and accessible. Now, in the past, this really wasn't the case, and as a direct result, it was possible for people's opinions to actually change over time without them being branded a hypocrite. Unfortunately, people on the internet do not understand the idea that something someone posted at one point may not in fact be representative of who they are now. And there are many examples of that, myself very much included. I've said some incredibly stupid things in the past, and I've got to live with them, I've got to own them, but they don't represent me now. Even some, let's give an example. 2 years ago, by the way, and I got attacked on Reddit for this, quite recently, in fact. I said something stupid about Smash Bros. Melee. I said it was a party game, and I don't take it serious as a competitive title, because Nintendo doesn't either, yeah? And about a year later, down the line, I watched the Smash documentary. And that changed my opinion on it entirely. I also watched Smash at EVO, and it changed my opinion on Smash Bros. Melee entirely, and I realized a couple of things. The first thing being, of course, that Smash Melee is actually a very competitive title, and it has a vibrant scene surrounding it with some truly skilled pros, and that should be celebrated. And secondly, the fact that you don't necessarily have to design a game to be an esports title in order for it to be an esports title. It can actually develop over time organically. You can even design a game with party elements, and it can still be a competitive title if you want it to be. And, that was just an example of something that I've changed my mind on. And people have called, even though I've actually recanted this like days ago on, the question came up on Unfiltered, and I went public and just said, look, I was an idiot. I was completely wrong about this, and here's my reasoning. And people still like, oh, he's a hypocrite! And there's plenty of other examples of people doing that. You have to understand time. You have to respect time. If someone like Jim Sterling said sexist stuff 5 years ago and now doesn't, and maybe now is more sensitive to games and media that actually portray sexist attitudes, that doesn't make him a hypocrite. That means that he has learned from his experiences and has changed him as a person, just like everyone else in life. If you go through life and don't change based on your surroundings and the people that you meet and the media you consume and everything that you learn and understand as you grow older, you're a fucking robot. You're not a real person. Real people change their minds all the time. And if you are stubbornly set in your ways, that's not something to be celebrated. Some people seem to believe that that is integrity, that that's principled. He's standing by his principles. If you stand by your principles in the face of overwhelming evidence that you are fucking wrong, that makes you an idiot. And it actually is one of the main reasons why we have so many stupid problems, not only in the US, but in many other countries to this very day, because politicians stand by their principles, even in the overwhelming face of the evidence. Vaccine deniers stand by their principles and get people in New York infected with fucking measles. Kids dying because they don't want to vaccinate their children because they refuse to change their mind. Stand by your principles. It's my principle that I believe that the Earth was created in 7 days, and as a direct result, some other bullshit. Stand by the principles in the face of overwhelming evidence. I don't believe in climate change. Climate change is a fucking lie. Stand by your principles in the face of overwhelming evidence. I'm sorry, we're celebrating this. Why? Be very, very happy when someone can change their mind. And more to the point, when they fucking admit it. The problem is when that person pretends that he never believed that in the first place. Then he's a fucking coward, and then you can call him out on it. Yeah? Then you can call him out on it. And there's the wonderful thing about the internet as well. It's all on record. It's all on record. You can see it everywhere. You can't delete something on the internet. Once it's out there, it's out, and you've got to fucking live with it. If that person admits they were wrong and changes their viewpoint, give them a pat on the back and not a kick in the fucking face, please. I'm going to take a break if you don't mind, and I will be right back with more Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z.